Welcome back. Today we are going to learn a new game. We're going to be learning a game called More or Less Than 40. And we're going to be solving some subtraction problems. We're going to be talking all about weather today with our subtraction problems. I hope you're ready. Let's get started.
Turn to page 52. On page 52, you will find the rules for the game More or Less Than 40. We will go over them now. How to play. What you need. You will need your workspace book on page 53, but don't worry about that now. You will need 2 blue number cubes and 2 white number cubes. Remember, if you do not have these number cubes, you can get them online using the online tools. This game is played with a partner. You will need to decide who will be player A and who will be player B. If you don't have a partner, we will talk about that in a minute. Player A and player B each get their own pair of dice, 1 blue and 1 white each. Players roll the number cubes and secretly record their 2-digit numbers. So player A rolled a 2 and a 9, and player B rolled a 3 and a 7. Player A chose to keep it as a 29, whereas player B chose to reverse it as a 73. You get to choose what you want your roll to be. Then you share what your recorded number is, and you draw an open number line to find the difference. After you've solved your equation, you determine who gets the points. Player A gets a point when the difference is greater than 40. Player B gets 1 point when the difference is less than 40. If the difference is 40 exactly, both players get a point. If you do not have a partner, decide if your goal is to get more or less than 40. Stick to it for the whole game. Roll each pair of number cubes and decide on your numbers. See if you can meet your goal all 4 rounds. We are going to play a demo round of More or Less Than 40 now.
More or less than 40. Let's see. Player, it's me, Colby, and I'll be player A. So Colby is player A, and my mom will be player B. Goodness, this was easier with my mom rolling the dice, but she can't help me. Oh, there's 1. Okay, now 1 more. Come on. Ugh. I rolled a 4 and an 8. Well, let's see. My goal is to have the answer be greater than 40. So, I guess if my mom rolls a big number, I want to have a small number that will be greater than 40. But if my mom rolls a small number, I need to have a really big number. So I don't really know which one I should do. Well, I'm gonna go with 48. Yes, 48. Okay. And okay, so my mom just told me she rolled a 61. Well, so I need to do 61 minus 48. So 61, draw my arrow, minus 40 is 21. And then I need to take away 8 more. Well, I can do minus 1 to get to 20. And then I need to take away 7 more. 20 minus 7 is 13. Oof. Well, that didn't work out very well. No, that's 13. And I needed the answer to be greater than 40. And this is way less than 40. Oh, well. So my mom gets a point for round 1 because she gets a point when it's less than 40. So there we go. Maybe I'll do better next round. We'll go finish playing, and you can have your turn playing. Bye now.
You'll play your own game of more or less than 40 on this page. Okay, it's time for a brain break. Except today, it's going to be a shake break. Are you ready to shake? Okay, stand up. Here we go. Start with your hands and your fingers. Shake them, shake them, shake them. Don't stop. Shake them. Okay. Now we're going to add our arms. Shake your whole arms. Don't forget to keep those hands going. Shake, shake, shake. Now add in your shoulders. Shake them. Shake, shake, shake. Okay. Now your head. Shake your head as fast as you can. Your shoulders, your arms. Don't forget those hands. It's all still going. Oh no, I can see it coming. Now your whole body is shaking. It's like a big earthquake. Shake, shake, shake. Freeze. Okay, give me 3 deep breaths and then we'll be ready to learn. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Great job. Let's get back to our learning.
Okay, today we're going to talk about weather. Now, how do you find out what your weather is going to be? I bet there's some out there, probably not many, who look in their newspaper. I know that's what we used to do when I was younger, but now we have different ways of looking up the weather, right? Like we can watch on TV, tune into the weather station, see what's going on, if it's gonna rain or if it's gonna be sunny, if it's hot or cold, whatever it might be. But I bet a lot of us have moms and dads who just look up the weather on their phone. We're gonna take a look at what kinds of information you can find about the weather on your phone or TV or internet, okay? Before we do that, let's talk about the weather. What are some words we know about weather? What are some things we might expect to find about weather? Let's think. When I think about weather, I think about hot or cold, so I think about what the temperature is going to be. I think about if it's going to be rainy or sunny. What else do I think about with weather? When I lived back in Colorado, I used to think whether it was going to be snowy or not. Was it gonna snow? Was it gonna blizzard? Here though, you don't worry about snow, but you do worry about like thunderstorms, right? Or a really big storm would be a hurricane. We don't want any of those though. Other things you might find in a weather report could be humidity. Humidity is how wet the air feels, how much water, moisture there is in the air. You might also see things about sunrise and sunset. Weather reports often include when the sun is going to come up, sunrise, and when the sun is going to go down, sunset. They also do moonrise and moonset, but nobody really thinks about that one. They also do phases of the moon sometimes. You might see phases of the moon. Like, is it a full moon? I spelled moon wrong. Is it a full moon or is it a crescent moon? All that. What else might be included? In Florida, you might see if it's high tide or low tide, what times those are. You might see some weather, like internet sites, will show you if there's allergies out or what the air quality is, or sometimes it'll show you the temperature, but then what it actually feels like, which is always interesting. Here, right now, it often feels like it's warmer than it actually is, and that's because of that humidity stuff. let's go take a quick look at what kinds of weather information you might find if you were looking on an app on your phone. Here we go.
So on the main screen, we can see that it's 79 degrees Fahrenheit right now, but it feels like 90 degrees. We can see there's 82% humidity. The wind is not very windy. It says 2 miles an hour and gusting at 4 miles an hour. We can see allergies. There's tree pollen, it's very low, grass pollen, mold, but dust and dander is extremely high right now. Wonder why. And then we can see the forecast for lots of days. Like this goes all the way through Monday the 29th. And I can see my highs every day are in the low 90s, but it says humid a lot. What else can we see? There's, oh look, the sun and moon. So the sun is rising right now around 6:28 and it sets at 8:20. And the moon tonight is a waxing crescent. That's pretty cool. We can see all that. And then, oh, here's a detailed view for today, which, oh goodness, the high today is 92. It's going to feel like 100.
Wow, that was a lot of information that you could find on your phone about weather all over the place. Now we're going to go to our workspace books where we're going to look at temperatures, highs and lows in different cities around the United States. Let's go see if we find anything interesting.
But for now, turn to page 54. On page 54, you will find a list of cities and their high and low temperatures in January. Let's take a look at the temperatures on this chart. All the temperatures given are in Fahrenheit. That is the way we measure degrees temperature in the United States. Just for some comparison, 32 degrees Fahrenheit is the temperature that water freezes at. So that's when you might start seeing snow, is 32 degrees and below. Room temperature is usually around 72 degrees in an air-conditioned building. 85 degrees is warm weather for sure, and 100 degrees would be really hot weather. In Florida in the summer, it's not uncommon to see days that have highs in the 90s or even the 100s. These temperatures here, though, are for January, which would be wintertime. So we would expect some colder temperatures. What's the highest temperature that we see on this chart? I see 82 degrees. That's pretty warm, especially for midwinter. What's the lowest temperature? I see 18 degrees. That's cold. That's below freezing. You're definitely going to have snow or ice at that temperature. You definitely are going to want a coat to take outside. Hats, mittens, gloves, all of it. What was the low temperature in Chicago? Well, look for Chicago. It starts with a C. There it is, the third line down, and the low temperature is 29. Let's look. Which cities had a lower low temperature than Chicago did? So we're looking for numbers that are lower than 29 in the third column for low temperature. Anchorage, that's up in Alaska. They had a lower temperature. Denver's low is 27 degrees. What other ones? Ooh, Philadelphia. Philadelphia's low temperature is 28 degrees. What's the high temperature in Oklahoma City? Let's look down the city chart. Oklahoma with an O. There it is. Oklahoma City, 76 degrees. Okay. Who had a higher temperature than Oklahoma City? Did you find it? Yeah, it's the last one there. That city is Tucson. Tucson, Arizona. That's way out in the southwest United States, even further west than Texas. We're going to be using this chart to find the difference between high and low temperatures. And that's exactly what the directions are telling us to do. They say find the difference between each city's high and low temperatures. I'm going to do the first 4 with you. I'm going to show you how we can use open number lines, but you can also solve some of these in your head, and that's okay. Here we go. Let's start with Anchorage. Let's take a look at that on a map. We live down here in Florida. Anchorage, Alaska is way up there. That's a long ways away. In fact, did you know it would take about 79 hours to drive there? And that's without stopping for gas or food or the bathroom. Yeesh. That's over 3 days in a car. I would not want to drive that far. Now that we know where Anchorage is, let's find the difference between their January high and low temperature. For this one, we're going to find the distance from 25 to 18, meaning we're going to start at 25 and go down to 18 and find the distance between. Let's start with a nice big jump close to 18, an easy 10 like 20. Well, that would be -5, and then 20 to 18 is -2. So the distance from 25 to 18 is 2 and 5 makes 7. So now we need to record that on our table. The difference is 7. Now let's look at Atlanta. Atlanta is in Georgia, which is north of here. We live here in Florida. Atlanta, Georgia is right there. It's the capital of Georgia. That's not too far. Atlanta's high temperature is 50. Their low temperature is 36 in January. Let's do takeaway. Let's take away 36 from 50. So we start at 50, and when we take away, we're going to do this by breaking up our 36. So we're going to do -30, which is 20, and then we're going to go -6, which is 14. And there we go. Now we write in 14 for our answer for Atlanta. Now let's look at Chicago. Chicago is further north than Georgia. We're down here in Florida. Chicago is way up here in Illinois. That's a pretty good distance. Chicago's high temperature in January is 40 degrees. Their low temperature is 29. For this one, we're going to find the distance from 29 to 40, meaning we're going to start at 29 and go to 40. A first easy jump would be to a nice 10, like 30, so let's do +1. And then from 30, we go to 40, and that's +10. 10 plus 1 is 11. The difference is 11 degrees. Now we're going to go look at Cleveland. We're down here in Florida. Cleveland is up here in Ohio. It's about the same distance to Ohio as it is to Illinois. For Cleveland, we can do this in our head. Their high temperature is 40, their low temperature is 30. We know that 40 minus 30 equals 10. That's easy. So we write in 10. You are going to do the rest of this page, starting with Denver, on your own.